Morning everyone. I'm going to start off this week's presentation by answering two questions that have been asked on your Teams feed. Can I really encourage you to use the Teams feed to ask questions, and I'll hopefully be able to explain and give you answers to these questions up here. Hopefully that's better than just a recording of my voice in a presentation. Okay, so I'll start off with the easiest question first. Is sulfur spelled with an F or a PH? The correct answer is it should be spelled with an F. It used to be spelled with a PH, but now it's spelled with an F. Okay, if you spell it with a PH, we're not going to penalise you for that. The second question is why on your presentation do phosphorus and sulfur appear separated from these 7 elements? And the reason is because phosphorus and sulfur are larger covalent molecules, whereas these elements are called the diatomic elements. There are 7 of the diatomic elements. The difference is phosphorus and sulfur exist as larger molecules. So phosphorus exists as P4 and sulfur as SA. So what that means is a phosphorus molecule is made up of 4 phosphorus atoms joined together. Okay, something like that. And obviously a sulfur molecule is made up of 8 sulfur atoms joined together. The diatomic elements, the 7 of them, are all made up of 2 atoms joined together by covalent bonds. Okay? Now because the diatomic elements are all made up of 2 atoms joined together by covalent bonds, and the larger covalent molecules are made up of more atoms joined together by more covalent bonds, they have slightly different properties. I hope you enjoyed that explanation of the difference between the larger covalent molecules and the diatomic elements. This week I'm going to show you again what I want you to do for this week's work. So, if you look at your higher teams, this is the contents of the Unit 1 folder. We've got questions, notes, PowerPoints and learning intentions. So let's just start off with the learning intentions. What we are looking at this week is we're going to look at pages 2 and 3. So we're learning about periodic trends in the periodic table. Okay, so that's slide 2. I want you to learn about atomic size and covalent radius. I want you to explain the trends across a period and down a group. So remember, periods go across the way, groups go down the way. I want you to find out about atomic size, ionic size, sorry, and compare ionic size with atomic size for an element and explain the difference. Okay, and then I want you to move on to ionization energy. Okay, I want you to know what, again, I want you to be able to state the trend in ionization energy across a period and down a group, and finally electronegativity. Okay, so quite a lot this week. So let's have a look. First you're definitely going to need your periodic, your data book to hand this week. Okay, so make sure that you have your data book. I'll show you the pages that you need to use from this. Okay, that is a must for this week, the data book. PowerPoints, where has that gone? Let's just open it up here. Okay, so if I go back into Unit 1 and open up the PowerPoint, we're going to finish this PowerPoint here today, the periodicity PowerPoint, or this week. So we'll just open that up. And I'm wanting you to start at slide, I think it's 21. Sorry, it's 23 that I want you to start at. Okay, so atomic size, if we go back to that learning intention, where's it gone? There. So we're starting off with atomic size and we're going all the way through to electronegativity. So that is slides 23 all the way through to slide 41. Okay, so I want you to read through that, take notes. In terms of questions, oh, actually, sorry, there's one thing I should point out. Pages in the data book that are going to be important. Okay, so covalent radii of the elements can be found on page 7 of the data book. So if I go to my data book, look up at page 7, you can see the covalent radius of all the elements under here. So that's going to be really important. You can see that it changes across a period. So we can see that it's decreasing from lithium across to fluorine, and it increases generally down a group. So we're going to find out, I want you to find out why that happens this week. Okay, so that is atomic size. Let's just go back to this. I'm going to skip through this because you're going to read through it in a bit more depth than me. Atomic size. Ionization energy. So for ionization energy, you are going to need to look at page 11 of the data book. So skip through to here, page number 11, and you can see that there's first, second, third, and fourth ionization energy. For some reason, hydrogen only has a first ionization energy. You might be able to figure that out from what you already know. If not, it should be answered in the PowerPoint slides. And then helium's only got, for some reason, got 2 ionization energies given. We should be able to figure that one out. But that's where you find out about all the ionization energies. And also on this page, you've got the electronegativities of all of the elements as well. So the PowerPoints do explain what electronegativity means and also what ionization energy means. So I want you to read up and find out about that. Okay, so that is everything. That's where to find everything on the data book. Ionization energy and trends in ionization energy and electronegativity are explained in the PowerPoint presentation. So that leaves me down to questions. What do I want you to do this week in terms of questions? So if you go, let's go back to this. Close that. I look at Unit 1, the questions. I'm just looking at Unit 1 questions again in here, and the answers are also there. I asked you to do up to question 6 last week. After you've read over the notes for this week, you should be able to do the rest of these questions up to structure and bonding. So if you scroll through the questions, you'll get to, I think it's question 28. Oh, yeah, no, 29. Okay. And then we move on to the second part of Unit 1, which is structure and bonding. I want you to do, from question 6, I want you to do the rest of the multiple choice questions. Okay, so that's the questions that have got A, B, C, or D answers. So we'll scroll through to here. It's about number 20, they stop. 21. Yeah. So I want you to do from question 6 to 21 of the multiple choice questions. And I want you to do the rest of the even numbered questions. So through to the end of chapter 1. So starting at question 2, starting at question 22, do question 22, then miss out 23, do 24, then miss out 25, do 26, and miss out 27 and do 28. Okay, so that's what I'd like you to do. If you could send pictures of your notes in response to this assignment and questions, and please, if you have any questions, post them up on the feed on Teams, and I'll try and answer the questions again. All right, have a good week.